Have you ever wondered why screen time feels so addictive yet so draining at the same time, and why it seems to be the go-to escape for so many autistic individuals? Well, what if I told you that excessive screen time isn't just a modern day distraction, but it's actually intensifying the very challenges that many on the spectrum face? Stick with me, because over the next several minutes we're going to do a deep dive into how excessive screen time impacts autism, why it seems so deeply intertwined with sensory and emotional overwhelm, and how healing can break this cycle. Hi there, Simon Winovich here. Most people just know me as Simo. And welcome back to Ultimate Divergence Embracing Neurodiversity, where we explore what it really means to thrive as a neurodivergent individual. Today we're uncovering the hidden connection between excessive screen time, autism, and the struggles that so many of us face, like sensory sensitivities, emotional regulation difficulties, and executive functioning struggles. Let's start with this. Screen time creates an altered state of consciousness, much like the creative mind state I've discussed in previous videos, and it limits the amount of sensory information from the outside world that reaches the conscious mind. For autistic individuals that often experience the outside world as chaotic or overwhelming, this state can feel like a safe haven. It's an escape from the noise, the bright lights, and the constant demands. But there's a catch. Screen time doesn't just provide a temporary sense of relief, it also exacerbates the very challenges it helps you to avoid. For instance, when you spend hours in front of a screen, you're avoiding sensory input from the real world. This might feel like a break, but over time it can lead to sensory underload. Your brain misses out on opportunities to adapt to and process external stimuli, making re-engagement with the world feel even more overwhelming. This fuels a vicious cycle of avoidance and intensifies sensory sensitivities. But the impact doesn't just stop there. Screen time also magnifies emotional regulation struggles. Content designed to grab and hold your attention, like fast-packed games or short-form videos, floods the brain with dopamine. This might feel rewarding in the moment, but it trains the brain to seek out instant gratification, making it harder to manage frustration, focus on tasks, or handle transitions in daily life. For autistic individuals who already often struggle with executive functioning, this creates a compounding effect. Planning, prioritizing, and even starting simple tasks can feel insurmountable when the brain is constantly wired for passive consumption. Screen time also reinforces the social challenges associated with autism. By retreating into the digital world, you're missing out on opportunities to engage with the physical world. In-person interactions, reading facial expressions, understanding social cues, and building connections is key to developing social intelligence. But when the brain is accustomed to the passive input from a screen, these critical skills go unpracticed, and the gap in social development widens. This disconnection can lead to isolation, frustration, and the feeling of being trapped in an endless loop of avoidance. Here's where my ultimate divergence theory of autism comes in. Autistic individuals have a unique cognitive algorithm. These are often highly tuned systems that thrive on patterns, logic, and internal processing. When trauma enters the picture, this often leads to hypervigilance, where the brain is constantly scanning for threats, making sensory and emotional experiences feel unbearable. Screen time becomes a tempting escape from this hypervigilance, but it can also lead to a state of disconnection that deepens the very challenges we're trying to avoid. So how do we break this cycle? Well, it starts with healing the emotional pain stored in traumatic memories. My Ultimate Divergence Healing Method focuses on releasing the trauma that keeps the brain locked in hypervigilance. When the brain learns to feel safe, it naturally reduces sensory sensitivities, emotional overwhelm, and the need to constantly escape into screens. As you heal, the mental resources that used to be spent on stress responses now become available for productive tasks, meaningful interactions, and personal growth. Healing also creates a profound shift in executive functioning. Tasks that once felt paralyzing become manageable. You develop resilience and confidence in your ability to handle life's challenges, making retreating into screens less necessary. This shifts the balance, allowing screen time to become a tool for occasional enjoyment rather than an addictive escape. Screen time isn't inherently bad. It's how we use it and why we rely on it that matters. By addressing the deeper patterns that drive screen dependency, we can reclaim our ability to connect with the world, manage life's challenges, and embrace our unique neurodivergent strengths. Healing doesn't just improve the way we handle screens, it transforms the way we interact with life itself. For those of you who still want more information about how trauma impacts autism, then take a squizzy at this video up here. Remember to subscribe to this channel for more insights into autism, trauma, and the path to resilience and empowerment.